We came here tonight to get started.
We are back.
We back. We back.
What's good?
Overstanding.
Overstanding was good, my brother.
I'm solid today, man. Today is a good day, man. Full of blessings, man. You know, all I'm doing is just letting the sun shine on me and continuing to grow, putting that water in my body. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Yeah.
We always promote the water. You know, drink water is good for your body.
Most definitely. What about you, my brother? How you doing?
Doing good like always. You know what I mean? Can't complain. I always say I can't complain because I really can't complain. You feel me? I woke up this morning. You know, I'm here. Was able to politic with my brother right here. You know, and just kind of go over things that just I've seen or heard or read. Just something that came across my desk, but I'm doing good, man. I'm doing all right. You know, had a great weekend.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to the next weekend because all work no play. Hey, shit,
Yes,
it don't
sir.
work out.
I'm gonna play in the middle of the week sometimes. I do want to make a service announcement, man. We've been getting feedback. We know the sound may have been, a little messed up on the last episode,
Right.
but trust me, we are reinvesting in our craft, and if you would like to see us upgraded, please hit the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Easy 510. Hit that Cash App.
Hit the Cash App.
And we'll reinvest that money into the equipment so that we can bring you the best product as possible. So please bear with us, but we appreciate the support. So just to get into it, brother, you was talking to me about something, and we had this conversation, right? It was about our people, but how diverse our people were.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I came across something. I wanted to run it by you and see if we talk about. But you heard about the fight that black natives are having, and when I say that, do you know what I mean?
You were telling me something about it earlier. You were saying something about like they're trying to fight for their recognition or something at some time, or the Native American. You let them know. You get into it.
All right.
Let me know.
So I ran across some articles that were talking about black natives trying to be recognized by tribal affiliations and tribal nations, and it sounded like they had been excluded to some degree, right? But the news stories that I kept on reading kept referring to like Cherokees that bought slaves and owned freed men or something like that. And it wasn't necessarily reflecting the story that I was aware of, that I wanted to bring to you and see what you thought about.
Right.
But the story that I was aware of is that black people were natives, not bought by natives. Like black people were here. And so just to kind of give you a little glimpse of where I'm coming from with this for people who don't know, right?
Let them know, bro.
I just want to say, like, there are books out there like Ivan Van Sertima's They Came Before Columbus that talks about those Olmecs, and those Olmecs got those phenotypical kind of features that look like
They look like brothers, like us.
the warriors from the continent.
Okay.
You feel me?
Okay, I hear you.
So I just wanted to see what you thought about this, man. Like black people as natives, and the fact that they fighting for recognition in the tribes.
It's not surprising. Like, if you look at history and if you go through history, you will see that, the first man was a black person.
Whoa.
On Earth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everyone comes from Africa.
For sure.
That's the beginning.
For sure.
And if you do your history, if you really do the research, and it's not surprising to hear that when at this land right here, this land that's that has been conquered by the British or the excluded British,
the French,
Dutch that left and they came over here.
Yeah.
And it's not surprising that there were black natives because we were the first.
So, what do you think about the fact that? How did we get here? Like, how were black people excluded from being recognized as natives?
I would say because of, number one, just the oppression that black people has always been hit with since the beginning of time. You understand?
Yeah.
Like it's not surprising because this happens everywhere. You know, everywhere where blacks are being oppressed and excluded and not included in a lot of situations. And that's why I said it's not surprising, because not only these people, I'm pretty sure these people who are trying to fight for their recognition are getting laughed at or dismissed because they probably feel like, oh, you're not native.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're somebody who came from over here, or you were born here, or yada yada, whatever reason it is. And it's like, how can you tell somebody where they're from at the end of the day?
You know, a lot of black people I know, I done heard this story, bro. I don't know how many people I done heard say it, but it's hell of them, right? They be like, I got Indian in my family. And I feel like number one, I'm glad that y'all recognize that there is native in your family, but you got to stop saying there's Indian in my family like you separate from the thing.
Thank you.
You are Indian if you got Indian in your family, because that lineage comes down to you.
I would say, a lot. I won't say I don't like to generalize, but I'll say some black people are one to throw that, I got Indian or whatever in to disassociate. I'm half French, half Dutch, half this. You know what I mean? To separate from their African lineage or heritage. And I feel like, why do that? Like, be proud of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because when you go out everywhere, the first, like, you're a black person. Yeah. If you're black, you're black. Yeah. Everywhere you go, you're going to be considered black, no matter where you go in this world. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, why try to disassociate from that and say, oh, but I'm French. There are some Africans who will say, if you look at them, they speak their language. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're black as hell. Not to say that means anything. But it's like all that.
Phenotypically,
they're
black.
But if you ask them, they will say no. They're not Congolese, or they're not Ghanaian, or whatever. They're Dutch or French or whatever.
That's what they speak. They are what they speak, or something.
That's what they're taking on. Damn. That's what they're choosing to identify as. That's why when you actually go and you see a lot of these FIFA, these soccer players, when you look at the World Cup and you look at Olympics, when you look at soccer, a lot of the stars are from Africa. You understand? Pogba, they're from Africa. Like, they're playing for like France, or instead of playing for their native country. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel you. Because they believe that they're something else. Or I guess they're just trying to disassociate from it, and I feel like, why do that?
Well, I would say with this conversation,
and I highlight that because of the negative connotation that country and whatever, and not even paying homage to how your parents got over there to start a life for you, to start just to get you doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like dismissing that and saying, "Nah, I'm from here. This is what it is."
So I want people to recognize their parents, right? But what I was going to say is, in this conversation that we're having about black natives, I'm wondering, you say, why disassociate, or why even try and like reconnect and ignore or focus on one part of your lineage or whatever, right? I think that they're focused on their lineage for a lot of different reasons. There are treaties that are honored where there are certain rights afforded to native populations. Like, how about not paying taxes? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How about some of the profits from these Native American gambling facilities that's all over the United States of America, making billions of dollars? There's a wealth sharing system that's intertwined into this status. So there may be advantages for people to be involved and be recognized. And for the simple fact that some people need to understand and know their history, I think it's important to reconnect to family. And I really respect the fact that black people is stepping up and reconnecting and remembering, like putting it back together, remembering to get their shit together, man, and get their propers, get their just due. You feel me?
Right. No, I hear you, brother. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I hear you on that one. And on that note, let's get into the next thing that came in, fell into my lap.
My favorite.
Or
my favorite.
This man, you've been going off about this. Going off about this.
My favorite.
Honestly, my take on the whole thing, I'll let you know my take on it.
Tell me your take, my brother. What we talking about first of all?
No. First of all, because you came to me and I knew as soon as the article, whatever the thing came out, you were like, boom, I already know. You was like, we were talking about, okay, what we're going to talk about on the show. And you was like, boom, I know I want to talk about the vaccine. I'm like, damn, bro, you ain't tired of that?
I ain't done yet.
You're not tired? I'm like, I'm kind of sick and tired, and you like, nah, man, there's this underreporting. So immediately, recently, because I've been hearing nothing but vaccine this and vaccine that and do this and this person, I'm like, I've been shut off about the vaccine because I have my take, but I'm gonna let you talk about the underreporting. You know what I'm saying? Because you approached me with this, and I'm like,
so you tried to give it a good description, but I'm gonna give a little more detail.
Go ahead, man.
To this situation.
Go ahead.
So what I ran by you was this thing that came across my desk that said federal lawsuit seeks immediate halt of COVID vaccines. Cites whistleblower testimony claiming CDC is undercounting vaccine deaths. I got this from a website called Collective Spark, but they also got this from the Children's Health Defense. So I'm gonna just read this first little thing, and I'm gonna tell you what the main points of this lawsuit is.
Go ahead, lay it down.
America's frontline doctors filed a motion July 19th seeking an immediate injunctive relief in Alabama Federal District Court to stop the use of the emergency use authorization COVID vaccines. For those of you who don't know, the vaccines that are being administered as an experimental vaccine temporarily approved using Emergency Use Act through the FDA. They are not FDA approved.
But I think they recently did just get FDA approved.
They haven't.
They haven't?
They talking about they
don't know,
fast tracking,
brother.
and they saying that the booster shot is on the fast track to being FDA approved, but none of them are FDA approved. And as a matter of fact, everybody that gets the shot, I hear, and I think that this is supposed to happen, you're supposed to get a piece of paper that gives you the information that says that this is experimental and it's not approved by the FDA.
I mean,
a disclosure.
I'll have to check my vaccination card because I don't.
It's not on the card. It's a piece of paper that they give you before you get the shot.
Oh man.
The main points of this lawsuit in the 67-page motion, they requested the judge issue the injunction pursuant to these following reasons. Number one, there is no emergency, which is prerequisite to issuing an Emergency Use Act. There is no serious or life-threatening disease or condition. When you look at the recovery rates, it really speaks to that fact, because there are other things, causes of death, that are killing way more people, and we're not shutting down the economy for this situation. You did?
Okay.
It say vaccines do not diagnose, treat, or prevent SARS-CoV-2 or COVID. They say the known and potential risks of the vaccine outweigh their known and potential benefits. They say that there are adequate and approved available alternatives to the vaccines. And we already know that they're not talking about no alternatives. They pumping vaccine, not the ivermectin, not the Z-Pack, not the, like these different treatments that, are efficacious as well. The last one says, healthcare professionals and vaccine candidates are not adequately informed. They basically saying that they got a whistleblower inside of the CDC that was responsible for controlling the programs to prevent fraud, and they basically came across this dynamic where they got 5 different reporting systems and it's not all put together. So the VAERS is what's usually VAERS is Vaccine Adverse Effects Reporting System. The VAERS had one number, but they found that on these other systems there were other numbers that weren't being counted or represented to the public. So instead of 9,000, it's about 45,000. That's what they're saying in this lawsuit, and they're saying stop giving the shots because this is killing a lot of people. What are your thoughts?
All right. Well,
Yeah.
what are my thoughts on that?
Yes, brother.
Man,
Give it to me, man.
if I don't understand. First of all, if this is all true, right? If this is all true,
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's not being, pushed to the forefront and being more thrown out there so that people would know about this.
Well, I have some ideas about that. But
I do know before I actually got vaccinated, I do know that, there was like a 1% chance, you know what I mean, of you actually, I believe, dying. So I looked at the odds like that's like you have a better chance of being struck by lightning.
Yeah.
And I took those odds.
I respect it.
I was like, okay, well, my chances are very slim, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's odds in each situation, right? Like there's odds maybe in favor or not in favor for taking the shot, and there's odds in favor or maybe not in favor of not taking the shot.
Right.
And we all should be endowed with the ability to choose and still create our livelihood.
I agree. I see. I do agree about that because now what I am seeing is they're forcing.
Yeah.
And I feel that
they're mandating.
They're mandating it, and I feel like okay,
compelling.
Well, this was at first. This was my thought process behind it, right?
Yeah.
My thought process behind this was okay. Well, if you're vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
And these people do not want to get vaccinated for whatever reason, those who don't want to get vaccinated, it's like, it's their right, I feel like you should trust in the vaccination to protect you, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, are you telling them to get vaccinated because kids are now getting sick off of COVID and dying? Now, if I see a report about a kid, I think I actually did. I actually did see that. A report of a child dying of COVID. And if that's true, because nowadays you can't believe everything that you read.
That's the cold.
You know what I mean? That's a cold part. That's a cold part about all of this is because all of this shit is up for debate. You don't know what is real. Like nowadays, every media outlet is out there to try to be first.
And to make money.
And to make money and not necessarily, care about the integrity of the work. You know what I mean? So it's like, I looked at it like, all right, I'll get vaccinated, before going into school. You know what I mean? Like, I got vaccinated for that. I got vaccinated for other stuff. So it's not like I'm anti-vax. I might as well get this vaccination. I didn't have no problem with it. So,
yeah, I respect it.
So that's just me. But and I feel like those, if they don't want to get vaccinated, that's their prerogative.
Yeah.
It's on them. You can't force people to do what they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. That's
just
my take. But I feel like other people have other take, and they're allowed to have that.
Do you think that this lawsuit is going to stick?
I don't think it's going to stick.
Why do you think that you haven't heard more about the lawsuit?
I don't know. Maybe it's because it's being buried. Maybe it's because if it comes out,
It
makes
it may break the spell.
right, and make people or entities look a certain kind of way.
Yeah, it may break the spell, man.
So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. And at the end of the day, my take on it is, hey, it's up to you.
Yeah.
You do it. That's my take on it.
All right. Well, let's leave it there, man. But I
That's
just want
mine.
people to go look into that Alabama lawsuit, AFD, America's Frontline Doctors, AFLDS. Yeah. Look that up, man. Go check that out.
Yeah,
See what
check
they're
it
saying,
out.
man.
I mean, and also, like, make sure you do your research about all of this stuff. Like, we're having a conversation here, and a lot of these stuff, it may be, maybe off a little,
Fringe.
maybe not,
Yeah.
It may be a little on the borderline, but if you feel like, okay,
Bring the righteous facts.
Bring the facts, bring your cite it.
Cite your sources.
Right, cite your sources on where you got it, because he told you where he got his article from, and stuff just comes across, come across our table, come across our daily reading, and we just decide to have a conversation about it. So this is a conversation. Don't take any offense. We're not trying to push a certain agenda. My agenda is do you happy and what you want to do.
That's right.
As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, moving on, man. Let's move on to, let's move on. How we doing with time?
We're doing good with time,
good?
man. We're doing good with time, man. We got plenty of time,
All
dog.
right.
So,
a little parched right now. Let me
yeah,
go
it's
ahead.
all good. So, you came across something I know that we talked about, and it's got to deal with the boys in blue, man. It's got to deal with these people that's wearing these suits, man.
Yes, sir.
The people that's making these rules and laws and kind of forming our communities, man. So why don't you tell us about this this new law that came into play, man?
So, basically, what I saw was, a Texas Senate, have recently passed a bill that eliminates schools from teaching that the KKK was morally wrong, saying basically that the KKK was some sort of religious organization. That's what it was. That was the intention that it was formed upon, and I think that
wasn't bad, huh?
right, and I think that's bullshit. You know what I mean? That you're actually passing this bill, and at the same time, this same bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cold part about this same bill, drops, studying the Martin Luther King "I Have a Dream" speech. I have a dream speech in school curriculum.
Wow.
So the same bill does that.
Wow. Makes KKK look a little bit better and have
It's
rewriting history.
Rewriting history. And that's what it is.
Whoa.
At the end of the day, and I feel like why, you see, in order to know where you're going, you need to know where you come from.
Most definitely.
And you need to face what the ugly, what you did, what happened. Now, everybody knows, well, I won't say everybody, because obviously there's bills and there's laws and stuff like that tries to put out this facade, but I feel like everybody understands how this country was built.
Yes, sir.
And who backs
on
this
the
country.
backs and
Right.
from the blood, sweat, and
Right.
tears, and
Everybody-
free labor coming
Right.
from people that look like me and you.
Okay, speak on it.
For sure.
All right, so it's like, why not face it and say, yes, these are the mistakes that were done because of X, Y, Z. This is how we plan to rectify this. You know what I mean? This is how we plan to move forward. What they're trying to do is sweep it under the rug, and I feel that that's bullshit. They're trying to rewrite it so that generations to come it'll be erased, and nobody would know about what's that place in Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
And nobody would know about that area of Philadelphia.
For sure.
That got bombed.
Yeah.
Thriving black communities. Our last episode, we had some,
Stories about those communities that getting erased.
got erased.
Yes, sir.
Away because of the better of the county or whatever, because of leisure or luxury or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I just feel that it's unfortunate, and the way we get ahead of it, right, is we have to tap in.
Yes, sir. Overstanding, sponsored by Six Kings.
We got Conscious Minds Dispensary. Yo, all right.
My bad. So, but yeah, man. So all of that is crazy, right?
Right.
About like rewriting history and
Right.
about like trying to retell the narrative, retell the story, make yourself look good, right? They say he who wins the war makes the history, right?
Talk about it.
Writes the books that go down and
I mean, that's very
frame
true.
it. But
Yeah.
this immediately when you was talking, right?
Right.
This is what it was on my brain.
Okay, what?
Was this 2006 bulletin, according to PBS.org, right? This 2006 bulletin from the FBI that detailed the threat of white nationalists and skinheads infiltrating police in order to disrupt investigations against fellow members and recruit other supremacists. So basically, the FBI in 2006 figured out through their investigations that white supremacists and neo-Nazis and bigots had infiltrated law enforcement. So why would it be so far-fetched to not think? You remember David Duke? He was a senator, right? David
Was
Duke.
he?
Grand Wizard of
He was a
KKK,
Grand Wizard of
and
the
he was some
KKK.
kind, he was in some kind of office. He was in some kind of office.
Really? Damn.
But it's not far fetched for me to think about the fact that there may be some card carrying KKK members in the legislation, especially in a place like Texas. Feel me? Texas. But like there are people in positions of power that really don't have the best interests at heart for black people and brown people.
See,
stuff.
it's funny that when you mentioned David Duke is because when he had, they say that he had a meeting, right?
Yeah.
And in his meeting, he told all the Klansmen to remove their hoods.
Oh.
And they should actually infiltrate jobs like be doctors, be lawyers.
Oh, he promoted that
be
idea.
Politicians, and that way they can blend and be in positions where they can really make a change for their good, for the better of them.
See?
Now, it's not surprising because of the relationship and because of the history of law enforcement against a specific kind of demographic.
Yeah.
Example, the black people and Latinos.
I mean,
it's-
think about how many black people have been shot and killed by the police, or think about how many people have had evidence planted on them, how many people have been illegally stopped, frisked, harassed. These acts could be perpetrated by white supremacists that have infiltrated and recruited, just like the FBI was referencing, right?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, definitely if you're in law enforcement, I've seen videos of police officers definitely, framing, throwing drugs or whatever it is in the backseat of a guy's car. And the thing is I've seen that also cell phones have really, saved a lot of brothers' lives.
I want to take
I mean?
a moment. Yep, I agree with you wholeheartedly,
You know what I mean?
and I want people to continue filming. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be scared.
Continue filming, continue going live when you interacting. But I just want to say that I know it's a lot of people out there that, number one, for some reasons, I appreciate the police, especially the good police.
For sure.
But I have
I do
a
too.
critique about the quote unquote good police, which is the good police usually know about who the bad police are.
But they can't speak on it because they're outnumbered. The thing is,
I really want to just say that there is a dynamic. You could be aiding and abetting or an accessory because you're not talking or not reporting or feeling like you outnumbered, and you know that there's some people out there that are some bad apples. You dig? On the force.
I would say this about that. I agree to an extent. Because, like you said, I have no problem with the police. I actually have, loved ones who are part of the force.
Yep.
Friends and family.
Yep.
And these are people that I hold close to me.
I love that.
And it's
Respect that.
You know what I mean? And I have no problem with that. At the same time, I understand that you can't be complicit and let things slide a lot, especially when it's happening in your face. Now, if it's stuff that you hear,
yeah, that's
okay,
a different story.
that's a
But
different
if it's
story.
in your face,
But if it's something smack dagging in your face, there has to be. And at the same time, I know there's a level of you have to protect yourself too.
there's a blue code.
There's
And
a
you
blue
gotta
code.
protect yourself
But,
and
you
your
have,
family.
but I'm looking at it right. You have to protect yourself, and you have to protect your family.
Yeah, they got gangs
Because-
in the police.
Thank you. I was just about to say that. And like you said, there's some really good police officers out there.
I believe it.
You know,
I've seen some.
really,
I met some.
I know some.
I met some.
Right, some cool, brothers, doing their thing, cool brothers, actually don't fuck around, but and at the same time, like you said, there's gangs. And when you let's put it like this, right? If let's say you're not even in the force, right?
Yeah.
You just a citizen, you chilling, and you see a bunch of gang members on the side that is, just fucking around, and it's like, all right, it's just active over there.
I'm listening.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now
It's active. It's active.
it's active over there, right?
Yeah.
Would you go over there and antagonize them?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
No, it's gonna be respect. It's gonna be respect. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, shit. I'm trying to survive out here in these streets.
Thank you.
So
Now look at it like
you
that.
gotta survive in these
You gotta
streets.
survive in these streets. It's
Yes,
like, okay,
sir.
I see that shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
damn.
It's a nasty situation.
Yeah.
It's nasty
It's
out
a nasty
there.
situation.
But it's some people trying to do good, and I support the ones that's trying to do
Definitely.
good, man.
Definitely.
And I support the ones that's willing to speak up and call out the ones that's on the
those
dirty
are
side.
champions. You're
Feel me?
considered a champion if you actually speak up, speak out, and stop and actually save people's lives. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Excessive force is not needed for a lot of these situations. And you can't. I mean,
They stomping people in the head.
They're doing a lot
They
more.
body slam.
They're
they
body slamming kids. 14. Okay,
man, I seen this one cop lay out a dude, blood, who was just standing in the middle of the street. He just walked up on him and rocked him in his chin, blood, laid him out. Then set him up on his legs and had him leaning against his legs. He was standing up and the dude was on his ground, kind of propped up on, and then he let him fall. You know what I'm saying? He held him up for 1 minute after he knocked him out, and then let him fall.
That's
man.
cold. That's
They
cold.
out here. They out here doing a lot.
These
man.
are the people that's supposed to be protecting us.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's fucked up. And hey, man, it's like my solution to that.
We got to do better.
Yeah, not just we gotta do better, but that's so hella generic.
We got to do better, blood.
We do, but we also have to actually start doing something though.
Like changing the laws,
Right, like getting out there,
unions,
man,
like
right.
holding police unions accountable and civilly liable for police officers that violate the law and
mobilizing,
harm
yes.
people and kill people. We can hold those pension funds liable civilly so that people really feel it in their pocketbooks and really affect change, because that's dealing with your legacy and not just some paid vacation where you're on
Right.
desk duty for a second while they do a fake investigation.
Man, speak on it.
Okay?
Man, speak on it.
All right, you don't get me too juiced. Don't get me too juiced. We might as well switch topics,
You
bro.
know,
'cause I
right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
I might get too juiced, bro. But
Yeah.
let's talk about this other situation that you brought to me. So lately, it's been a lot of different kinds of weather, man. Everybody talking
Yes.
about climate change. You know what I'm saying? They talking about sea levels. My homeboy just was camping in Berryessa, and he was like, they was talking about they got the most water of any lake in California.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You know what I mean? So
did.
I'm just saying, weather has been weird, but it's hot, it's cold. You know what I mean?
Right.
What's going on, brother?
Shit. Apparently a lot. I was, I was scrolling through the timeline, I would say, and I came across an article about weather, what you're speaking of, weather modification. And this is
Okay.
specifically in Dubai, right?
Specific in Dubai of all places.
You know they have money out there.
Big
you know,
ball in Dubai.
If you see the technology they're doing, if you hear about the technology they're doing to get this rain, it's basically called cloud seeding.
Cloud seeding.
That's what they're doing. It's a form of geoengineering.
Whoa.
That is, but it's kind of controversial because they say that it's not efficient. It's like you're kind of like playing God's, so to speak, here, you know, because you don't know what it can really do.
Whoa. So
You
what
know
are they
I mean?
doing?
So basically, what they're doing is they're releasing silver. If I'm not mistaken, they're releasing silver iodide. I think it's iodide.
Silver iodide?
Yeah, into the clouds via like drones or aircrafts, right? To
Yeah.
catalyze a process that'll create like large clumps or droplets that'll form rain. So that's what they're doing because there's been a heat wave out there, and they've been having like degrees up to 125 like degrees. It's
Wow.
been hella hot out there.
Wow.
So they figure like, okay, let's look into this to create rain to kind of alleviate some of that.
Wow.
And it's, you know, there's been some naysayers. They were successful. I mean, it happened.
Wow.
And they continue to do it.
Wow.
You understand? This is something that, it's like groundbreaking. Like, okay, we can actually formulate rain.
Wow.
You know? And now there's also, I'm also heard about like China expanding their weather modification program in an area that's larger than India. And basically the way they're gonna push this is, you know, these areas, or this area has a drought and there's no water, and we need to do this in order to produce water. But at the same time, you don't know what it's actually doing to the atmosphere, right?
Man.
Quite yet. You're just like, it's just like, I figured out, we're doing this.
Man.
We're hitting this lick, but we don't know the consequences just yet of who it's affecting, or how it's affecting the atmosphere.
Oh man.
And that's dangerous, in my opinion.
So let me get this straight, right? They shooting some shit in the air,
They're using drones, bro.
electrifying it or some shit.
With like silver, pretty much.
So you remember, were you a part of that conversation around chemtrails? You heard about that?
Chemtrails, what's that?
Oh man, you ever seen the airplanes just making those little clouds that go straight across the sky, and
Yeah.
sometimes it'd be like different straight lines in the sky, and these are not naturally forming clouds.
Okay.
They were saying that they've been spraying stuff. This has been years of a phenomenon. They've been spraying stuff. I wonder if that had anything to do with what we're talking about today. You know, like putting stuff in the atmosphere like silver iodide or some other metal or something like that in order to mess with clouds or whatever experimentation. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on that they're not like talking about, but they're doing.
Right.
So I just wonder about like if there's a correlation between weather modification and those old school chemtrails or some other type of modification. But anyways,
I mean, you don't think it's like playing God in a sense. It's like you don't think it's gonna affect something.
yeah,
Like-
man, it's weird. That's for sure.
It's groundbreaking. I'll say that because
It's
it's definitely it's different. It's I believe they should win some kind of award if there's any award for that. But
I mean, but
Not even
what other
but
kinds of
that-
weather are they controlling if they already trying to control rain? What I mean, you know, back in the day,
produce rain.
I don't know if you heard about this, but back in the day, I heard about HAARP program, the HAARP.
Okay.
It's like the oral research project. It's like several football fields full of antenna that kind of send electromagnetic waves into the ionosphere or something like that, like one of the layers of the Earth's atmosphere. And supposedly they were doing research on the effects of sending those waves up, but a lot of people speculated that was weather control. And back in the day, especially around that earthquake in Haiti, when Port-au-Prince was
right.
was hit directly. A lot of people was speculating that was like a thing that was like,
wow,
you know what I mean?
So you think that's like they could like
make
earthquakes and
maybe.
hurricanes?
Maybe.
That's
Flood.
deep.
You know those weird, category crazy storms
bro.
and stuff that's been coming lately.
Yeah.
Especially in the times of climate change. Man, there may be more going on with weather control than what we're seeing. This might just be the tip of the iceberg, dog.
Shit. I mean that's devious. Like,
woo,
if that's true,
like some Dr. Evil,
right? If that's
$1
true,
billion shit.
Nah, come on, that's like far fetched.
Nah, it ain't too far fetched. It ain't.
It ain't. Oh man,
it ain't too far fetched, blood.
Man. But anyway,
they already control some kind of weather. What if they?
They control
other kinds of weather. What if they can make rain? Maybe they can make a hurricane.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, let's get into the. That shit is crazy though.
That's wild.
Making rain, modifying the weather. That's wild.
Yeah.
And it's
real.
kind of deadly, and it's real.
It's real.
Shit, I don't know what to say about it, but that shit is it's groundbreaking, but at the same time it's scary.
Yeah.
So the what the fuck?
Oh, we here now?
We here. Let's
we here now.
For those who don't know, the what the fuck, let's say it again, the what the fuck moment is just something that comes across and we're like, and it gives us the reaction, damn, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like either in a good way, in a bad way, in a surprising way. So the what the fuck moment is the verses, bro. The Jada, the Locks versus the Dipset. Now, for those who's not into the rap hip hop, for our viewers who don't really know about all that, this ain't for you.
But this for the real hip hop.
These are for the real hip hop heads. Those who really know about Jada, those who know about Dipset, the lyrics, all of that.
Hey, don't forget about Styles and Luke.
And that performance really was like a what the fuck.
Whoa.
To me, it was the second best verses.
Oh, not the first?
Not the
to
first.
me, hands down, it was the best.
Because the best to me was the Gucci and the Jeezy. Because that one was like, it had the background to it. They had real issues. Yeah. It was like some real beef, and they like actually came into a room together.
For me, this one was about hits.
This one was hits and hip hop and showmanship. Dipset like they could just come out there, be lazy, be fly, come out, be like, They didn't know they was messing with some animals. Man, it was sick. It was great. It was a great show. Shit. That shit was crazy. I don't even know what else. What you think about that shit, man?
Listen, brother. So
Let me know.
For me, it was for sure, hands down, the best verses yet thus far. I'm saying it's better than the one where I think it was Beanie Man, where they almost got shut down. Anyways,
oh really?
Bruh, yeah. I mean, it was lit, bro. So they showed out. Both groups showed out for New York. I respect it, but I think Locks did the crushing of a century. Crushing. Oh shit! I'm talking about showmanship, lyrical quality, breath work, live performance, synchronicity.
He was shitting on you.
You know what I mean?
They were shitting on the Dipset.
I'm saying, blood. These dudes was like so much on point. Oh, we got a caller?
No.
Okay.
No callers.
Okay, calling in. Not to get. Okay.
This is recording. They should know better. Come on.
They should know better. So, look, blood. I'm talking about they had so much flavor for them boys that it didn't make no sense, to the point where I know they was getting mad. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I know they was feeling salty because Jada was really giving it to them like, these niggas ain't even rapping. These niggas is lip syncing.
It was
we in the Mecca. This nigga like, we in the Mecca. Oh shit!
It was a thrashing. It was a like that man Santana was out there looking bad, man.
Oh man, yeah,
That boy
Santana,
was
man, tone it
bad.
down with the bandanas, blood. I know
That
that's your
man
thing,
Santana,
dog.
bro,
but
like, I
the
was
one
scared
around the
for you,
hat
man.
with the head, with the do rag.
Man, I was kind of on the law. I was kind of having like secondhand embarrassment. You know how when it's
Like you feel bad for somebody.
like man, that man teeth looked like it was about to fall out. I'm not gonna lie. Like Santana, like man, just like hit the dentist again, man. They didn't get it right, man.
Fatality.
Like, have them. Man, let me not clown, cause I'm not. You know, I'm not out here saying I fuck with the man.
I
fuck with the Dipset.
I fuck with the Dips.
I'm just saying, man. You was looking bad out there, Santana, man. That was getting on you, bro.
I wish the best for all of them, and they going on tour, so you know, get your money up, fellas. You know what I'm saying? It's all love.
Oh, yeah,
but,
it's all love.
But,
It's all
but boy, oh boy, was I impressed, man. I got chills.
Oh,
and something.
yeah,
You know, them moments when them real bangers came out, blood. It did something to the real fans. You know what I mean?
Cam was carrying. Jimmy was doing this thing too,
Oh,
man.
Jim got hits. Don't
play with Jimmy.
Don't
Like
play with
Jimmy
Jim.
doing this thing. Like it was a really good. It was a good show. Like imagine being
Overall.
there. Imagine being there live. You know?
And at the end, I really respect the fact that they, you know, shouted out the brotherhood and really just let folks know like they was putting on the show. They knew it was gonna get chippy, but you know they had rules and boundaries and respect, and they sent people home safe.
Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You think something like that can happen here in Oakland?
For sure, it can. You
It
know
can?
what I'm saying? Yeah, because town business is like about
Okay.
players and being player about a situation.
All right.
And so as long as people can have some mutual respect and some understanding, for sure it could go down like that in the town. You
So
know,
who do
I've
you-
seen it happen. You know what I mean?
So who would you want to see in the verses from the town? Or even if it's just like a town versus city kind of thing.
Versus
Or just a Bay Area.
for the
versus.
Bay Area,
Yeah, just a
Bay Area versus
not even town or city.
for some new school maybe.
Just a versus, just like because they already did
Ooh.
the E40 and the Too Short.
Yeah.
So what would be a Bay Area versus? Maybe
A good one from the hood though.
Yeah, go
it
ahead.
just might be Be the We the First Stallion.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it. And I know everybody brothers, but I'm just saying, you know, put the catalogs up against each other. You feel me? Because both of them boys got some big hits. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Made some waves, man. You know what I mean? I would love to see a bunch of different little situations, man. Maybe like a Kamaya versus a Lil Kayla or something, or you know, like a.
But do they have a lot of songs?
Oh man, they got songs.
They gotta have.
Oh man, they got songs.
They gotta have like 20 bangers.
Oh man, they got. I don't know about 20, maybe
Yeah,
they got.
that's how they doing it out
It
there.
might be a
They got
little.
10.
It might be a light. You know,
It might be
this
like
ain't-
a good
this
5,
ain't on
6.
the- This ain't on the real verses.
Oh, this is the town versus.
It's the town versus. Come on, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, we
They
got
already
people
did
with
the
hits.
real
We got
verses.
people with enough hits. Fuck that shit. We got
Yeah,
enough hits.
for sure.
But I don't know. Who would you like to see?
Shit, I don't even know, man. I would actually like to see somebody in the newer school.
Yeah.
I would want to see somebody
From the back.
From the Bay, I would like maybe like maybe like a Sue versus a Larry June or something like that.
Huh.
You know.
Yeah, I think their style's kind of different. I don't know about
You
that
know.
matchup. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you though.
You know, for the
somebody
newer-
new school.
somebody
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
newer school. You
Yeah.
know, just to represent the whole Bay Area, just to be political around here. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
Maybe like a 24 golden. You know, 24K golden.
yeah, the kid
versus a Sue or something like
okay.
that.
Oh, you really? You think a Sue?
Ooh.
Nah, I think Sue will wash him though.
You think so?
Yeah, he's just coming out.
He got a lot of followers. You know, he got a lot of little buzz.
I wouldn't
bro.
even know his music though, but I know of him.
You know of him?
I know of him. I'm not gonna front that I don't know about him.
Yeah, shout out all the Bay Area rappers.
Oh, yeah,
shout
for
out
sure.
all the talent that we got in the Bay. We need to continue to come together,
Come
work
together.
together,
Work
so we can
together.
make this shit bigger than ever.
Yeah.
Cause y'all niggas acting like y'all ain't clever. Nah, but for real, blood, these niggas gotta really do something different, man. Like, we gotta do it like old school Atlanta did it, where, you know, everybody was supporting, everybody was featuring. it was a movement we was gonna kind of push, like what Fab doing. You know what I'm saying? Fab left, maybe Fab and Sue. Ooh,
No, I think.
ooh, maybe
Yeah.
Fab and Sue.
I don't know. Fab might get.
Fab gonna get, Fab gonna win automatically. He got
Fab,
hits
right.
with dog,
Yeah,
alarm.
Fab might get that one.
Fab gonna get it. Fab gonna do it right.
But we'll see.
And that's Big Bro, so nigga, I'm rooting for you, but
You know what I like to see? I'll probably be like, I would like to see like a just like a whole like Bay Area just concert.
Oh yeah.
With all the
include
big
Baby
dogs.
Bash?
Why not?
Okay.
It's all
I
the
fuck with
slappers.
you, Baby Bash. I fuck with you, Baby Bash.
All the slappers.
Yeah, Jay Valentine.
All of them. Just have them all on one
AKA
concert.
Franks.
All the
Yeah,
all the
everybody.
songs,
Beta.
Everybody on there.
Yeah, D-Lo. Free D-Lo,
Yeah,
man. If
everybody.
D-Lo ain't out yet, nigga,
Oh, really?
free D-Lo.
He's not. I thought he was out.
DB2.
Man.
You know, upgrade. Little upgrade. I see you.
Man,
You
shout him
know?
out. Shout him out.
Yeah, my little bros be out here gassing things. Boy, you just don't know, blood.
But I would like to see that. I would like to see just a good concert out here just for the town and the Bay Area, and throw some old school niggas, throw the new school niggas, and just come together. And
Maybe it's sponsored by Overstanding.
maybe.
Okay.
Hey, let's put a little block party together.
All right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Close down the block, get some people to come out, get the trucks out, reach out.
Yeah.
Let's plan it.
Yeah.
You know?
So let's get into my metaphysical moment.
Let's
bro.
get it. Let's get into it.
So for those of you that don't know the
Yeah,
metaphysical
break it down.
moment, metaphysics is like the abstract, the hidden meaning, the occult, the symbolism, the numerology, the things that are behind the scenes but have influence over your life. They got energy behind them. You know what I mean? And so the concept that I came up with today for the metaphysical moment, we was talking about like the weather modification. We was talking about this dynamic where they trying to rewrite history and hide certain things, put certain things in the background,
Yes,
and put
they
other
are.
things in forefront and highlight. So what I was thinking about was things that are happening beneath the surface. There's more going on than what you know.
Always.
You feel me?
Always.
So my metaphysical moment is to take note from that dynamic of more going on than what you may see on the surface, and apply that principle to your own self for elevation and growth. You can present to somebody like you ain't got much of shit going on. Like most of the billionaires, they just be doing like jeans and a t-shirt, jeans and a t-shirt, jeans and
But
a
those jeans and t-shirt be cashing.
it don't even matter, but it looks simple,
Right.
and it's easy. It's not super Fendi everything. There, it's not gaudy. You know what I mean? It's simplistic, but it's more going on than what you see on the surface.
Definitely.
So for you all out there that's listening to Overstanding, one of our goals is to try and help people get some information and understand things that's going on and that got relevance in your life, right?
Right.
So my situation is have more going on than what people see. And that's key. You know, they can think one way about you, but really on the inside, you know, you might amaze them. You know, you might be learning skills. You might be stacking your money up, but you only showing them a little bit. You know, you can let them discover and be blessed by that. You know what I mean? So have more going on behind the scenes, on the inside, versus what everybody else sees, what's going on the outside.
And I'll like to add to that. I'll also say, you know, in that same kind of context, it's just, you know, get involved. You know what I mean?
Hell
just
yeah.
start somewhere. That idea, something that you were thinking about, just start it. You know, I mean, that's how we got this started.
Exactly.
It was just a talk. We're like, you know, man, let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
just put it all together, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And we're just rocking.
My
It's all good, brother. It's all good,
bad.
brother.
Y'all, I get juice. Y'all know I get juice with this little savage here, blood. You know I get juice.
Man. But anyway, man, I'm just saying, you know, get involved and see what you can do to change your situation and change and like help your environment, or help your community. Whether it's volunteering your time, you don't have to be rich. You know, giving away some of your old clothes to younger family members or people on the street, or buying people. Looking out for your partners, looking out for your people. It's it's just stuff that you should do to help your community and be a good person in your community, and I feel like that's all you can really do.
So have more going on.
Focus on that.
Behind the scenes, have more going on. It might be something way more going on with that weather experiment. It may be something way more deeper going on with them putting in certain kinds of legislation and framing things a certain kind of way. Have more going on for yourself than what people see on the outside, and you're gonna be better for it. I hope. Feel me? So with that. That's Overstanding.
That's Overstanding. We out. My brother, thanks for another show. Shout out to, our sponsors, Six Kings Entertainment. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
We got a lot of
hit that cash app. Hit that like button.
Cash app. We're gonna get both of our cash apps up there pretty soon. Make sure y'all show love, and let's grow this thing. And like I said, this is a conversation. Let us know. If you don't agree with something,
conversate. And that's not a word, but still do it.
Thought we didn't know. But yeah, just bring it to us. Come with the facts, and we'll discuss it, and we'll say, okay, yeah, we were wrong here. We're not too big to admit when we're wrong, but you better come with the facts. Don't be wasting our time. You feel me?
Overstanding.
Overstanding. Six Kings.
Yeah.